Hey, I'm starting to think that being black on the internet is a humiliation ritual. And I've been told by many black people not to bring this topic up because I'm not qualified to talk about it since I grew up overseas. I'm actually a Latino. La gente no sabe que yo soy Latino. Si no empiezo a hablar español, la gente no entiende que yo soy Latino. Entonces, when I get here to America, I face the same obstacles that you face. Because people don't know I'm Hispanic. And the first thing I run into is, why do you talk like that? Why do you talk like that? You're trying to be white. Why do you read books? Why are you interested in engineering and science? You're tall. You should be an athlete. Here, play with this basketball. Somebody needs to hold the feet to the fire. And I think it affects everybody, not just African Americans, but the entire American culture. And I'm just seeing that the path that the community is going down is not a path of success or growth. It's a cycle of self-deprecation. And I think that it's bad for the youth, not just black youth, the youth of the entire country. Since I moved here from Panama, I have noticed that on the internet, the only community that I see consistently putting itself down, shitting on itself, is the black community. And also, I don't see other communities making themselves the butt of the joke, but not trying to improve. There's a big difference between making comedy where you point out the flaws in your community, but you also point out how you can improve and fix those, and comedy content where you glorify the flaws in the community. When was the last time you saw somebody who was black going viral for something that was not self-deprecating? I want you to stop and really think about it, because it's not just me trying to pull this out of my ass, just trying to make a video to stir up the pot. I really am just bringing up what I've seen. And what I've noticed is that every time I see a young black man going viral, it is always either for some self-deprecating comedy or showing the flaws in the community as a strength, in all of the wrong ways. And almost nobody calls them out for it. In fact, this video I'm making right now is going to get tons of hate. I already know it's going to get tons of hate. There's going to be people who don't even watch the video. They just read the title and they start leaving comments. There's going to be people that don't watch this video with nuance. They don't really analyze what I'm saying, and they take it as an attack. It's me coming on here trying to see you do better, trying to see you improve your circumstance, trying to see you uplift your community instead of tearing it down. Why is it that the black community is the only community that I see tearing itself down over and over and over again? Every single time I scroll on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever platform it is, I see nothing but black people making content, highlighting the worst aspects of their community as a joke, as if it was funny. Not saying that it needs to be improved, not saying that they need to work on themselves. You can't grow as a people if you can't point out your own flaws and say, we need to fix this or we need to fix that. Being a drug dealer is not funny. Being a prostitute is not funny. Being a thief, a hood rat is not funny. Being unemployed is not funny. They will tell me that I'm being performative and, oh, you're making a video saying this so you can have the validation of the white man. When in reality, it's the complete opposite. The truth is that that's what you're doing. When you put yourself down, when you make a video highlighting the worst aspects of your community as if it was a joke to get cheap laughs, that's what you're doing. You're bringing up the flaws to say, oh, we're bad. Oh, we can't get a job. Oh, we have to sell drugs. We have to be strippers. We have to do this. We have to do that. We can't improve. Forget about school. School's not for us. Education is not for us. Reading books is not for us. You're the one looking for validation. Either that or you're afraid. What happened in American culture is that blacks are just so afraid to fail that they don't reach up to try to succeed. They refuse to lock in and climb up the ladder of society to become something successful. And they're satisfied with just being entertainers and athletes. The world is bigger than sports and entertainment. I look around at my brown brothers and sisters and I think to myself, what are you doing? And it can't be because of the color of your skin. I am sick and tired of hearing you say, oh, I can't succeed because of the color of my skin. There are plenty of black people from Central America. There are plenty of black people from Africa. There are plenty of black people from other parts of the world that move to America and they become doctors, lawyers, engineers, scientists. They get to the top levels of society. So you have to look at yourself and say, yo, if I keep failing, if my community keeps falling behind, it must be something that I am doing. What am I doing that's holding me back? What am I doing that's keeping my community in the slums, in the ghettos? Because it can't be the color of your skin. I'm tired of hearing this argument. Slavery ended like 300 years ago, dude. You need to wake up and realize that you are the problem. Your culture is toxic. You're destroying your own community. And when a person like me that comes from another country who grew up overseas tells you what you're doing wrong, says, hey guys, it's probably not a good idea to sell drugs, guys. Doing crack is probably not a good idea. Being a hooker, being a stripper, probably not the best thing for your community. Selling drugs, being in a gang, probably not the best look. And making content that glorifies those things and highlights them so that the other communities, the other races can see, probably not the best thing to do if you want to see more opportunities for your people. Instead of you listening to me and saying, oh man, this guy who looks just like me, by the way, and is successful somehow, he wasn't held back by any other person somehow. Maybe this guy might be right. Maybe he might be onto something. Instead of you saying that, being nuanced, seeing it from my perspective, from the perspective of anyone outside of your community, you say, no, this guy's a raccoon. This guy's a hater. This guy's an Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus. And it's like, I'm an Uncle Ruckus for telling you the truth. I'm an Uncle Ruckus for pointing it out. You converted being black on the internet into a humiliation ritual. I have never seen a video that highlights the community in a positive light that's viral. There's videos, there's content creators. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of black people that are successful and they try to make content, but that content doesn't go viral. Only the bad stuff goes viral. We need to do better. And I say we because I'm not even talking about just the black community. I'm talking about all the communities, the human race. There is no such thing as black, white, Chinese, Asian, Arab. Those are just traits that you have to adapt to your environment. Nothing more. We're all the same race. We're all the same species. So it's time for us to wake up and hold each other up to the standard, because the direction that I see this community going in is one of eternal servitude. Yeah, you're not working on a plantation anymore, but you're still a slave in your mind. You're still a slave in your mind. Just looking at the type of content and the society that you've built for yourself, I can see that you are still in chains mentally. And it's time for you to break free. We need to steer our community into a position of power, not a position of weakness. Being entertainers, being athletes can only get you so far. The leaders of the community need to be uprooted and tossed out because they promote degeneracy, drugs, gangbanging, escorting, everything that's wrong, scamming. What other community, bro, is on the internet promoting scams openly, making it a joke? Promoting unemployment openly, making it a joke. Promoting gangbanging openly, making it a joke. Promoting stripping openly, making it a joke. And that's why I have to make this video, because I have to call a spade a spade. We're doing a disservice because younger people see that and they think it's cool. And then they want to be gangbangers and they want to be hookers. They want to be drug dealers. They want to be scammers. They don't want to be doctors and lawyers and engineers. They don't want to speak proper English. They don't want to read books. They don't want to go to college, become something significant in this world, have actual power. They want to have power over a block in a city that they don't own, instead of having power in the real world in a corporation, being the CEO, making that money, driving the fast cars, living the lifestyle of somebody influential who earned it the right way. You need to start looking for who you are as a community. What do you want? What outcome do you want? Because you can't keep making this kind of content and expect to be respected in the world. It's not going to work. We need to stop laughing at this type of thing. We need to stop sharing these types of videos. We need to stop promoting these type of people. It's not funny anymore. Black actors need to stop taking the role of a gangbanger, taking the role of a drug dealer, taking the role of an escort. It's not cool anymore. It's not funny anymore. If you're making a bunch of content that shows the worst aspect of who you are as a community, the other communities, the people around you, society is going to reflect that right back on you. And you're digging yourself a hole. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I am sick and tired of the black male humiliation ritual. We need to have some real leaders. Where's the black Mr. Beast? Where is the black Iman Ghazi? Where's the black Joe Rogan? You got to do better. Go find yourselves. Go read some books. Go travel the world. Open your mind. Stop trying to be the victim. And stop attacking people that call you out on your bullshit. Just because somebody's pointing out what needs to be improved doesn't make them an Uncle Tom, an Uncle Ruckus. Just because somebody's from another country, they didn't grow up here, they didn't experience the quote unquote black experience, doesn't mean they can't tell you what needs to be improved. It's bullshit. It's nonsense. It's a cope.